the show begin. Next generation for the win. We're going all in. All together now, let's begin. Let the show begin.
All right, who wants to go first?
Me.
All right, Sarah, go.
Hello, everybody. You may be wondering, what's such a youthful face doing amongst a team of significantly older gentlemen? I did warn them that I was going to insult them. It is because I, the 34-year-old responsible millennial, specifically asked Siu-Hoon to allow me to rebel against my own generation and beyond. So every generation has had its criticisms of the next generation, but never have we seen quite a phenomenon like this. Nothing illustrates this dire impending doom quite like a situation where your life is in danger. So picture this, you lying on the operating table, waiting for your life to be saved. Alas, your surgeon, their Gen Alpha, with the help of ChatGPT, I concocted what said surgeon might say to his or her team. Yo, squad, we are in a skibbity crisis. Time to channel that Sigma energy and keep the aura strong. No cap. This is a gap situation. I need all the risk from you to pull this off. Let's save them and keep it lit. I sooner reach for the scalpel, save everyone the time, and just stab myself.
Go in order.
The behavior of the next generation is rife with contradictions. A significant distance between what they believe in and what they actually action upon. A gap between their fingers clicking on their phones and their brains, assuming they exist. Gen Z and Gen Alpha are said to be the most educated generations, and yet they can't spell basic words. They know the most about climate change and claim to advocate environmental issues, but apparently more than 40% of them shop fast fashion brands like Chee and Temu on a monthly basis. And they are the generation that wants most to deep dive into culture and nature when traveling, but perhaps a little too deep. Deaths due to taking selfies while on holiday is estimated to be around 300 people globally in the last few years. For the record, that's 3 times the number of shark attacks that have happened in the past few years as well. So Darwin's theory of evolution rings true here. We don't even need to get rid of them. Stupidity will clear itself out. The future generation is said to be illiterate, incomprehensible, and cannot look beyond themselves or up from their phones. I stand with my mildly geriatric and aging friends on this side of the house. We are all doomed. You heard it first, right here at WiT Singapore. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Let's hear it for Sarah. All right, now, Hazirah, over to you.
Sarah, just wrap it up and join our team. Okay? Don't waste time. My generation uses social media to confront change, while the older generation uses it to escape reality. Now, older generations see social media as a place to share family photos. What do you guys do? Post inspirational quotes? Is that all? But for us, social media is a tool to confront change head-on. We use it to show injustice, challenge the status quo, and make our voices heard loud, clear, and uncensored. Take Malala, for instance. Malala is a Pakistani female activist for girls' education who became known worldwide after being shot by the Taliban at just 15 years old for advocating for her right to learn. Now, her voice wasn't amplified in silence. She spoke out loudly for girls. The world would have never known about it if it weren't for social media. Today, she spoke to everyone using the same platform that we use. And for us, social media is a megaphone for those whose voices are dismissed. Our generation uses social media to address issues that the older generations find it so easy to sweep under the rug. We are loud about mental health, and we are loud about, for example, growing up with autism. And we're even louder about talking about the things that needs to be changed. On TikTok, a mom, Cynthia, shares the life of her 4-year-old son with autism, Michael. She's called Just on the Spectrum. They are one of the many who decide to show the struggles that they face in a world that don't even understand him. Through her, we learn, we see, we feel more, and we are inspired to create a world where he can coexist in. Yes, we are obsessed with social media, but our obsession is purposeful. We use it to spread information faster and more uncensored than ever before. Mothership, for example, Singapore's #1 unofficial news outlet. The government likes it? I don't think so, but it's not just about being woke. You know, they gave voice to what Singaporeans were actually feeling, even without traditional channels, even when traditional channels couldn't. Sometimes we do enjoy the fun sides. For example, just 3 days ago, our 51-year-old Prime Minister is also on TikTok, flew back from Laos on a budget airline. And of course, everyone's saying, oh, he's so humble, he's so great. Now, it was a simple act, but it showed us that even those in power can show humility. But social media is also the one holding people accountable. Taylor Swift, now do you know that she's being called out for having the biggest carbon footprint among all celebrities? Now that's scandalous. But isn't it great that we're pushing more responsibility even from those untouchable public figures? We're not just here to consume content, we're here to demand a more transparent world. A generation that speaks loudly, questions deeply, and challenges the status quo is never a doomed one. And you know how my generation loves validation? Please, I hope you clap for me as loud now. Please clap for me.
All right, CC, next to you.
Okay, first of all, Sarah, you're not so young.
Oh,
Ouch, sorry. But I'm not going to bash the young. So I'm going on a positive note. I'm going to talk about how smart our parents are. At one point, we think that our parents are old, dumb, they don't understand technologies. But how wrong we were. They don't need mobile phones, they don't need WhatsApp, they don't need Teams to get off at 5 p.m. sharp, right? And stay uncontactable, unlike us. So what they do after 5 p.m., they go home, whip out a dinner, and make babies. Life is great, isn't it? But wait, that's not even the best part. The babies they make, like us, 20 years down the road, we are going to create the biggest property bubble. They're going to sell their house, go into enjoy their retirement and cruise to nowhere. So your parents, those cunning ones, they had it all planned. So our parents are really smart, and we were the one that get screwed. So what do we do next? Screw the next generation. So we invented Facebook, we invented social media. You remember the Fortnite dance or my son loves the skibidi toilet, literally a head popping out of a toilet, right? Social media gave everyone a voice. And what did we manage at the end of the day? We managed to divide everybody. So somewhere, somehow in our human evolution, we stopped listening to the elders. We stopped listening to the wise one. We went so crazy about saying we want to change the world, we want to change the world. But perhaps that's where the problem is. We don't need constant changes. Sometimes we just want things to stay as it is. So, to my friends over there, we are definitely doomed because in the next 9 minutes, they're going to tell you how they're going to change the world and make the world a better place. If you remember the song, Heal the World, Make It a Better Place. Yeah, that was back in the 70s. Guess what? When we invented Twitter, social media, Facebook, that was exactly what we wanted to do, make the world a better place. But look at the bloody mess that we have created. So, my question to you guys is, I know you guys want to make a change to make the world a better place, but a better place for who? You're not even making babies. So we have no next generation to talk about. So don't tell us how you're going to change the world. My recommendation is have a great time at WiT party, get yourself drunk, make some babies, or else there goes your retirement plans and your property price. Thank you.
all right.
For an activity.
Fabian.
Yeah, I think Chong needs to be more adaptable, right? And I'm here to share how we can clean up the mess that they made, right? So, to all generations present today, right? In the interest of 3 minutes, I'll just provide 2 reasons why the next generation will make better decisions for the brighter future. First, right, the next generation has an unparalleled environmental consciousness that we campaign so hard for, right? For boomers, going green is more than painting your house green, okay? Think of Greta Thunberg. At 15, she challenged world leaders, right, to take immediate actions to mitigate the ill effects of human-caused climate change. Then we have this guy called Boyan Slat, who founded the ocean cleanup at just 18 years old. Today, at 30, his organization has cleaned up more than 16 million kilograms of ocean plastic, and his goal is to eliminate 90% of the floating plastics by 2040. just for perspective of how big this commitment is, right? 70% of the earth is covered by water. So the boomers invented plastic, we clean it up. Closer to home, so we have 31-year-old Singaporean Ong Chu Sian, right? She's a lady. She founded this company called Margorium, which converts plastic waste into road materials. Their innovative new bitumen paved the way for 5 green roads in Singapore, including Sentosa, right? One on Sentosa, and this promotes a circular economy. Just to give everyone a perception of how scalable this is, Singapore is only 730 square kilometers small, but we have 9,500 of kilometers of road in Singapore, and that's a quarter of the distance around the earth. These entrepreneurial examples are not outliers, just one of the many success cases, right? And they illustrate the next generation actively taking committed, concrete actions through environmental challenges to make the difference. Secondly, the next generation prioritize health consciousness by leveraging on technology, creating culture shifts, and demand towards healthier options. Today, everyone here in the audience, right, you probably have some form of app that tracks your fitness activity, right? And you have adopted healthier eating habits, right? While the boomers were busy celebrating their inventions in the 1990s, like Oatly, Beyond Meat, kombucha, we are the ones that make all this so cool and popular enough to be placed on the shelves of the supermarkets. The growth created a whole new industry with many entrants, increasing the economies of scale, creating affordability and accessibility for the masses. This influential shift by the next generation swing the world towards healthier life choices, reducing public burdens and benefiting the environment. Right? So let us join forces, right, with your experience, wisdom, trust, and our energy to embrace the changes. I think together we can create the future we hope for and preserve the world for travel and tourism to be continue one of the top industries for centuries. But maybe with more direct flights and fewer layovers.
Thank you, Fabian. All right. Tim.
Not sure I might need a cane to get to the front. Wheelchair. I am not a boomer, ladies and gentlemen. I am Generation X. Thank you very much. And there's one thing I've learned is I cannot trust a Generation Z person to do anything. We're about to hand over a beautifully perfect travel industry to a bunch of lazy Generation Z people who know nothing. They're into TikToking, not ticketing. They're into meme building, not order taking. They're into being in bars, not P&Rs. They know nothing about travel. And the boomers, they just broke the whole thing. We turned to the baby boomers, they broke the entire travel industry. We had to fix it. And now we've got to give it to Generation Z. Let's have a look at some of the great things the boomers did for us in prepping this industry. We asked the boomers to build a sustainable, safe airline industry. They built a 737 without a door. We asked them to build a wonderful, joyful hospitality industry. They gave us endless check-in queues that go for days, useless Wi-Fi, and they gave us Oracle. Is this being recorded? Sorry, just checking for my friends in the back there. We asked them to build travel technology, something that would be a high watermark in how travel should work. And they gave us the GDS. And a flood of acronyms that don't even mean what we think they mean. Some of my favorite acronyms are Generating Tangible Flight Orders, or GTFO. Fare Matching Logic, or FMyL. Or Workable Travel Functionality, WTF. And we asked the boomers to fix this GDS nightmare of acronyms, and they came up with NDC. The boomers broke it. We fixed it. We're the cloud computing people. Gen Z built AI. Gen Z built integrated technologies. We built contactless payments. We fixed it. Gen X, we came up with new business models. Peer-to-peer, ride-sharing, Airbnb, we did that. We made ecotourism. We fixed it. And now we've got to give it all to Gen Z. Gen Z is just too busy TikToking to pay any attention. Can you imagine it? Hey, Z, I'm X. I fixed it. It's all ready for you. Do you want to be excited? Do you want to be an executor? Do you want to be engaged? Huh? Who are you, boomer? I'm Gen Z X. I fixed it. Gen Z's useless.
All right, Jeff. Last but not least.
Getting yelled at by Tim, nothing new. Background noise at this point. We're used to it. Our generation has thrived despite being handed the short stick. And when I say short stick, a really, really short stick. Let's break it down. The average salary for a 25-year-old today, half of what it was for our parents. University, triple the cost. Buying a home, double what it was for our parents. Cece, that's why we're not having babies right now. And if you want to fund your travel startup, funding is 1/4 of what it was before COVID. Investors today expect revenue and viable business models. When we entered the workforce or started building our travel startups, we were sold on the glamour of Studio 54. And what we got instead was CBGB, and a room that smells like this. And yet, we continue to innovate. Y Combinator's latest batch, 86 AI startups. SpaceX last week caught a rocket out of the sky with a pair of metal chopsticks. And in this room are 5 to 6 new unicorns. Well, at least according to Fritz and Chris. So we'll see if the checks match the chatter. And so not too bad for a generation that was given a mess to be cleaned up. So let's talk about what makes our generation truly remarkable. Forgiveness and gratitude. We could get bitter and we could get angry, but instead of going low on the previous generation and getting mad at them for creating the 737 and Oracle, but because of the mess that we walked into, we became who we are because each of you saw something in us. When you sold your companies, you became our first angel checks. When you made it big, you built communities for innovation. When you spent decades becoming experts, you became our mentors, preparing us for a pitch with a Scandinavian airline 15 minutes before the call last night. Thanks, Tim. And it's why in a room full of competitors, Booking and Expedia are sitting at the same table, VCs and VCs are at the same conference, EDOT and ETI, we're in a room full of friends, the kind of friends that we enjoy coming back and seeing each year. That's the spirit of web and travel. This is the place where talents, idea, and capital have sex. If you weren't here yesterday, it's not as raunchy as it sounds. So if this is supposed to be the great debate about which generation has ruined things the most, our generation is flipping the script and making this the great donation. So thank you. Thank you for all that you've done for our generation, and we'll continue the tradition of helping out the next generation of ungrateful little shits that come here telling us that they're going to fix travel. Thank you.
All right.
Good job, everybody.
Okay. Come to the middle, guys. Okay. So now it's time for you to vote, by old-fashioned applause. All right. Those of you who are going to vote for the 4 team. The 4 team. CC, Sarah, come on.
Oh, the streak continues.
And the against team. I think they get the sympathy vote for some reason. Anyway, whatever team is on, it
I lose.
loses
I'm
every
the
year.
Undertaker. The streak continues.
But I want to thank the debaters. Fantastic. And we actually have Korean ginseng from WiT Seoul, and we'll pass them to you because I think you're going to need all the energy that you need to fix the next generation. All right, please. Thank you.
They're ready now.